Hello, welcome to Travel Buddies. I'm Rick. This is James.
Hi there.
And we have a very special guest in the studio today, Samantha.
Hello.
Samantha will be reading some rep reviews, or maybe probably reviews. And James and I will be reacting to them. It's a park that we frequent often, Wild Adventures. We actually live about a mile and a half. No, not a mile and a half. That would be nice. We live in the middle of farmland, though. I don't know if that would be nice or not. Anyway, we live about an hour and a half from Wild Adventures, so we frequent the park often. I think we're pretty good to judge if your review was fair or not. What do you think, James?
I think we could do pretty well.
All right. Who wants to take the first one, you or me?
I'll take it, sure.
This is from a fella in Tennessee. When visiting the taco concession stand in the front of the Twisted Typhoon roller coaster today to buy some water for my wife and kids, which cost $4 a bottle, the teenager running the food stand told me the total was $20. I told him it should only be $16. Then he said it was $20 with tax. I said, I don't think so. And then he mumbled something about he was told to just round up the price for tax. Then I got very stern and serious and told him to give me my change now, which he immediately did. I will never come here again. I wonder how much this kid rips people off every day. And the water temp was room temperature. Y'all could have not least put in a cooler. Better yet, install some water fountain or reusable filters for bottle stations.
Well, I'd have to say you weren't very smart from the beginning because you don't pay for water when you could just carry a cup around. They have watering stations throughout the park. If you want to spend $4 a bottle, well, so be it. And if you're going to have a problem with the price, why would you drive from Tennessee to Wild Adventures? I don't know.
That all of the, what are those things called where you get all the different fountain drinks?
The filler station.
The freestyle.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Coca-Cola freestyle. Free water. Just hit the water button. You can fill up any container that you bring in the park with you, or you can buy a bottle of water. If you forget it, pay $4 one time for a bottle of water and just keep refilling it all day. So yeah, I think that's
But how about just rounding up for the tax? He just rounded up.
I've never seen rounding up the tax. They have a rounding up? What?
I think it was just something the kid was doing on his own
Oh.
Instead of using the machine.
because, you know,
Well, round up what? Round up 25 cents for the poor guy that's sitting out in 100-degree weather in Florida?
yeah.
He rounded up $4 though.
$4. Oh, $4. Yeah.
So what should have it been?
Less than $2?
Yeah.
Less than $2 a bottle?
No, for tax.
Oh, for
If
tax, yeah.
If you go to a theme park and you're upset about $4 for a bottle of water, just stay home. It's expensive. The theme parks are expensive. They're fun and you pay a premium.
It's not really expensive if you think about it. You go to the movie, it's $25 for the movie. You go get some popcorn, that's another $7.50. Then you get a drink, that's another $5. So right off the top, you're almost at $40 just for a movie, popcorn and a drink for an hour and a half. Go to the park for about the same price.
Well, yeah, you're completely right. And I'm pretty sure that if you dove into whoever wrote this review history, they probably complained at the movie theater too. So, yeah.
Okay. My husband and I visited on the weekend of my birthday, July 16th and the 17th. We had bought tickets for the park for Sunday, which was my birthday. We later found out that Jeff Foxworthy would be there on Saturday night. I went online and purchased tickets for that for $10 each. We arrived at the park at 7:30 p.m., expecting to walk into the show. However, upon arrival, we were told we would have to buy tickets for the park for that date, even though we had tickets for the following day. We had spent $120 to be let in, even though the park closed at 9 o'clock. We did it anyway. Seats were horrible, staff was extremely rude, and the next day we did use our park tickets. First, we had to pay $15 for parking, which is outrageous, considering we had to walk almost a quarter of a mile to the entrance. Once we were in the park, the price of everything was expensive, and the condition of the park itself was not very good. The animal exhibits were extremely dirty, and the staff was very rude, and I would not recommend this place at all for any of the vacations.
Is her name Karen?
No, it's not Karen.
Okay. I thought for sure it would be a Karen.
Oh, Sasha.
She was a Karen. Yeah, $15 for parking. Okay. Do not go to Orlando. You will.
I paid $75 for premium parking at SeaWorld.
Yes. And you get out of your car and walk through the gate. So $15 for parking is not unreasonable. Matter of fact, that's a deal. So apparently she doesn't go to other parks. And you're mad because you didn't buy a ticket to go to the park on the day that you bought a ticket to go to the concert. Wow. I got nothing.
I think that probably within the Jeff Foxworthy show, when it said $10 a ticket, it said that does not include your park admission.
It clearly says that. I've looked at that. I'm a pass holder, so it is included.
$10 for a Jeff Foxworthy concert? I mean, anywhere else is probably going to be what, 50?
At least. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're paying for park admission and the Jeff Foxworthy show, so therefore you're paying normal admission, but you're going to go to a park at the same time. Sounds fun to me.
I don't know. It seems like we got some really cheap people going to theme parks today. So anyway, let's move on.
I have one that's next that's talking about what the website does and doesn't say. This person says, imagine my surprise having driven to find them closed through March. There is no mention of this when I purchased my annual pass in December. They should really be called a 9-month pass, huh? Not to mention the numerous signs that I have been reading. It says open daily, littered along I-75. Buyer beware. Check their very unuser-friendly calendar before you head out.
I think this person probably goes to the convenience store at 4 a.m, goes, the sign said open when I drove by 4 hours ago. Why isn't it open? It clearly, I'm a season pass holder. He is too. She is too. We all have season pass holders, and maybe take time to read what you're buying.
Yeah, it's right there on the website.
Never been to Wild Adventures before, so my husband and I decided to take our 3 kids, which are 15, 10, and 7. Ticket prices are reasonable, but the location is way out in the country. Some rides were dated and rough, and some rides were broken down quite a few times in the day. The staff seemed clueless and not friendly. The water park is ridiculous and not in a good way. So many people in a small space. Get there early or you will not get a chair to sit in or put your stuff down, etc. Only a few slides and a small wave pool, which when we was there, they turned off the waves for the part of the day because of so many people in it. And they have a kiddie area, which half of it was blocked off, but that section had the coldest water. If your child is under 48 inches, they will only be able to get on 1 slide out of like 5. The lazy river looked so nice, but once you got into it, it was so gross and very dirty.
Yeah, there's so many things wrong with that. You're upset that they turned off the waves so people don't drown. Okay.
It's not a Typhoon Lagoon, that's for sure. If you want to simulate chop in the bay, that's what type of wave machine it is.
Okay.
It's just kind of moving around.
And the roller coasters are old and broke down. That's simply not true. They have a good selection of Vekoma roller coasters. The Wild Mouse is actually, I think it's called Marsh Mayhem now. That's one of the best wild mouse that you'll ever ride anywhere. They have a boomerang. When I get off of it, my eyes are all like this, but it is one of the best boomerangs in the country. What is the other one they have? The Vekoma that's called
Twisted Typhoon.
Twisted Typhoon. Again, one of the best Vekoma of that. They're all clone coasters, but they're all well kept, and they're some of the smoothest clones out there.
The park was nice with quite a few things to see. However, the food was expensive, as were the drinks. On top of that, we had to pay for a locker, $10, for which you received a $5 food or drink voucher when you returned the key. But it was not good unless you're returning the next day. Lockers were only a certain section of the park near the water rides, which made it a hassle to go to again and again if we needed our money or change of clothes. There are not enough bathrooms but plenty of showers, so you wait quite a while to use a toilet. We'll not be returning here.
I've seen toilets everywhere. No issue with bathrooms.
I
As
think we're
far as
talking about in the water park area.
There's some there. You just got to actually ask somebody, and they'll give you a short route to it. And as far as a locker, I mean, you can go to the water park and use the lockers. The reason for it is so that way you don't get your stuff wet. But if you go to the theme park side, they have free lockers. As soon as you get ready to get onto the roller coaster, you put your stuff there. You can clearly see nobody's going to mess with your stuff.
Well, they're not really lockers.
Well,
They're
it's
being-
just a little storage bin.
Yeah.
You put your stuff there. You get on the ride. You watch your stuff. Make sure nobody's going to mess with it. You go through the ride. It stops. You get off. You grab your stuff and you move on. It's free. Savings.
Okay, this one is coming from Connecticut. After about a 3-hour drive north from Orlando, I decided to bag 7 more roller coasters I had never ridden before. The park obviously doesn't have the money that the Orlando parks have, but there are hundreds of rides and 7 roller coasters. There are really only 2 coasters that I found to be great, the Cheetah and the Twisted Typhoon. As of this writing, the admission of $48, which is a reasonable considering how many rides that includes. The food is reasonably priced, was pretty good and enough to fill me up. One of the best parts of the park is the zoo, included with admission, as they have laid out some really nice walking paths under tree canopies to view animals. There's also a water park included with admission. This park would be a great place to take younger kids, as the majority of the rides are geared to the age of the group, including roller coasters.
Nice review. I
It's a
think
really
it,
good view.
I think it's a good review. I think it's fair. I think the person that wrote that review is a roller coaster enthusiast, and I think that they were seeking coaster credits for sure. So,
Yeah, something new to ride. And they clearly have been to some of the best parks in the world. That's where Disney and Universal is. There's a few other that are throughout the world, but
Yeah, most are trying to compare apples to pineapples. They're not the same thing.
yeah, they actually
Mm.
did a really good job at that one.
I would, if I was going to recommend someone going to Wild Adventures, I would say if you're going there and you're going to compare it to Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, the other 2 parks that are owned by Hershey Park, don't, because they're just different types of park. But it has its own type of charm in its own way. And what this person spoke of with the animal exhibits, that's part of the charm of the park. You can literally walk through a Florida swamp on a wooden, what would you call that? A path, I guess. It's like
Yeah,
a raised path. You're walking above the water in a Florida swamp. Not too many parks offer that.
Ah, yes, Wild Adventures, where the ticket costs nearly $50, includes free heat stroke, mild confusion, and a bonus of encounter with a feral peacock that clearly runs the place now. We showed up hoping for fun, a low-key day, rides, snacks, maybe some animals in the enclosures. Instead, we spent 70% of our time standing in lines that moved slower than molasses in January, 20% avoiding the the bugs and the final 10% trying not to get assassinated by what I can only describe as an emotionally unstable peacock. The bird didn't strut, it charged. No staff in sight, no fencing in place, just a full-on feathered missile weaving through the snack carts. My nephew dropped his hot dog, and my aunt screamed, "Don't make eye contact like they're in Jurassic Park." To the credit, the Dippin' Dots guy didn't even flinch. She just started scooping like bird attacks were a Tuesday thing. No signage, no warning, just chaos. So yeah, if you're looking for an adventure, this park delivers. Just maybe bring armor and a sense of humor.
Have you ever seen a wild animal in
No,
the
but
park?
I would sit there and I would watch that.
Oh my gosh.
That would be part of my entertainment.
There's peacocks there and they're in enclosures. There's lions and tigers there. If the peacocks got loose, I would probably never go back expecting that a lion or tiger might be loose the next time.
They should be grateful that it was a peacock and not a lion. Okay, I have one more, and this is a 5-star review from somebody in Tampa. Wow, what a beautiful hidden gem in Georgia. I've been sightseeing for this place for years, so I finally decided to come when I had some free time, and I wasn't disappointed. No, it's not packed with a large amount of roller coasters, but the park is so large and well spread out. It doesn't matter. I enjoyed the homey feel too, and I loved it that I was able to get a cheap ticket for a Groupon for $40. I would go here again.
Yeah, me too. Nice review. Good job. And I don't want to seem like a shield for the park because I'm not, because the park does have its problems. And there
Yeah,
are
they all parks have their
there's
problems.
areas that are definitely rough in the park. And but overall, it's a good park. And for the money and the value that you get for going there, it's a, I would even say great park when you consider how much you pay to go there.
But you know that if you go to Wild Adventures expecting Disney or Universal, you're going to be disappointed. If you go to Wild Adventures expecting it to be a small, homely park in Georgia, you won't be disappointed.
But if
Probably
you don't
so.
have anything else,
Nope, I think that was it. So we can wrap this one up, and the next park will hopefully be Universal Studios, Epic, and what's the other one? Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Epic. That's it. Those are the ones.
well, thanks for tuning in to our first video. It's probably a little rough around the edges. They may all be rough around the edges because we're trying to have a little bit of fun. We're going to probably leave in some mistakes. And because we're people like you. Yeah. I'll probably come up with something to end this a little better, a little smoother.
We are traveling between two ferns.
So yeah, the name of our channel is Travel Buddies. And thank you for tuning in. And
We'll see you in next week's video.
goodbye.